like to call this meeting to order. It is exactly 6:04, and we'll start off with roll call.
Aldo Benavides present.
Esmeralda Solis present.
Roberto Zamora present.
And Alex Cantu present, so I do declare a quorum. We're gonna go on to item number 3, which is the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, members of our community, we have Jesus Lugo, who is a representative for Seguin Elementary at our district ambassador meetings. For the year 2023 and 2024 school year, he is our student council president and is an active participant in UIL for mathematics, number sense, oral reading, and chess. He is also a member of Seguin Choir and Seguin soccer team. He is identified as gifted and talented and participates in the dual languages program in 5th grade. Jesus is a great community leader and demonstrates empathy towards classmates, peers, and staff. He will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Loving and gracious God, we thank you today for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us, including our parents, teachers, principals, cafeteria workers, custodians, and board members. We ask for your abundance blessing upon them as they continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength to make wise decisions for the well-being of all La Joya ISD students. Bless this meeting today and prepare us to make every moment count. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. We'd like to recognize his parents tonight with Miss Eva Maria Barrientos and Gerardo Lugo Salinas. Please be recognized. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias. Thank you, Jesus. With that being said, we move on to item number 5, which is public comments. Do we have any? We don't have any public comments. So then moving on to item number 6, we move on to the superintendent's report.
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, members of our community, we just want to, on behalf of the administration, our faculty and staff, thank the entire community for your participation in our 3rd annual lighting of our Christmas tree. It was wonderful to see the entire community come together and to all of us celebrate around a Christmas tree, where we mentioned at that night, we wanted to thank each employee that made it happen, our food services department, our bus drivers, our janitors, and our staff that so diligently put that event together so that we could remember that a Christmas tree at La Joya ISD could mean that every branch represents every part of us, whether it's a department, whether it is individual leaders in our community, our businesses, our colleges and universities. And more than anything, we mentioned that we would this year symbolize gifts around a Christmas tree as each one of our hearts and dedication regarding our children's future as we prepare them for college, workforce, and life. Thank you, everybody, once again for a successful lighting of the Christmas tree here at La Joya Independent School District.
I would also like to extend my thank our facilities and maintenance department. I know that they went above and beyond decorating and making sure that everything was, beautiful like every year. I'd also like to thank our PR department, for covering this wonderful event. It takes a lot of work, and of course, all our staff that participated and helped us out with the event. It's awesome to see all our programs, all our everybody coming together and putting their two cents and putting their booths and taking pride in an event like this that's for our children. So thank you, everybody that helped out in that event as well. Anything else on the superintendent's report?
No, sir.
With that being said, we move on to item number 8, consent agenda. We have none. So then we move on to item number 9, contracts. We go on to item number 1, approval of resolution number 2023-079 on sources of instruction relating to investment responsibilities. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
Second.
I have a second by Dr. Benavides. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 2, approval of resolution number 2023-10 to adopt the investment policy and strategies as presented and designated the investment officers for the La Jolla ISD. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Dr. Benavides. I need a second.
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Zamora. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 3, approval of CLI kindergarten classroom environment checklist research study. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Dr. Benavides. All
And
those in favor.
I have
You have a question? Well, I'll open it up for question.
just I think I'll just go back and ask and just let you know why it was that I wanted this pulled out for tonight's meeting
Okay.
rather than having it discussed last time. And one of my thoughts at the time was that there was language related to diversity and teaching of gender. And so I'm just wondering if we could get some
Clarification.
examples or at least a discussion of exactly what it is that our early childhood students will be experiencing as part of the program related to diversity and gender.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, board members, and Mr. Gonzalez. My name is Marta Castillo, and as part of this research study, it is not involving the students. It's just a checklist that the teachers will be implementing and using in the classroom to see what the environment is like and see. So it does not involve students in any manner. And the teacher just does a self-assessment, and it's only one time that they assess, use the assessment in their own classrooms. It's completely voluntary. And if teachers choose to not implement at any point, they may do so. So it does not involve students, Dr. Zamora.
Oh, you've answered my second question, and that had to do with whether teachers were required or was it voluntary, and you've done that. Like in other research, usually it's voluntary. So let us keep it that way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
If there's any other questions, if there's no more questions, I had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. There's nothing under letter B, bids, and then we move on to letter C, business and finance. I need a motion to approval of budget amendment 2024-01. I need a motion to approve. I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
And I do have comments and questions.
You want a second, and then we can open
Yes,
it up?
yes.
I have a second by Dr. Zamora, and open it up for questioning.
I would just, me personally, I would just like to request a breakdown of the renovations that are going to be done and the cost for each of those.
The renovations for,
We're on budget amendment, right?
on the first one.
Yes. Number page 50? Yes, that one. I know it's $1 million for the roof at Ann Richards, and it says additional interior renovation project. So I would like a breakdown of
course.
what the things are going to be and the cost for each of the items that are going to be completed.
I think we requested a workshop to make sure that, I know that one of our board members has requested all our projects and where we're at with finance, the percentage completed, and a breakdown of everything. So we're trying to schedule a workshop for hopefully next week so we can get all that information in.
Yeah, Mr. President and members of the board, on that note, just to couple and resonate what you're saying, we are well in progress to preparing a workshop for next week to go over every single project this board has approved and to come and disclose openly with the board where the funding for each project is, the pacing guide for those funds, and then the completion rate for each one of those funds. Some of those are ESSER, so we'll present those that are ESSER funded, and then those that are fund balance funded will also be presented to this board in this workshop in a separate category. So we would like that workshop to be before we break to our Christmas break, our winter break. And so if it's as early as next week, we can do that. We have a scheduled meeting for Wednesday, the 13th. But if you'd like it before or after, we're well underway to preparing that workshop for this board.
Could we do it that day early? like
Yes.
earlier?
That'd be a good
We-
idea.
So that way we
We
do
can do the workshop
session.
before the
We're
meeting.
here already, might as well.
Yes.
That'd be great.
We would do that. So Wednesday, the 13th, the board will receive that presentation on behalf of our administration.
So we schedule the workshop an hour before. An
Yep.
hour before would be good.
Will do. Will do.
5 o'clock.
Mr. President, just keep in mind that we have
That's the day we have the hearing for the first
the
report.
first at
So
5:30.
we have to go 4:30, we go 4:30 because the
4:30 is
report is
fine.
at 5:30.
Just make sure we have enough time so for questions and that the board might have.
Yes.
Okay?
Will do.
I do have comments on it. And I think Dr. Benavides has asked a question related to Ann Richards. What I want to know is like, because of the amount that's in the budget amendment at $1 million plus, and we have, in the original budget, I didn't see any money that was budgeted out of that fund for the general fund for facilities and acquisition. So is this the only amounts of dollars that we have in the budget? Because my thought then was, so how are we paying for the job order contracts of $3 million that are budgeted or that were approved last time?
Okay, the way this started off was the budget started off at approximately that amount for the roof for La Jolla High School. And then when La Jolla High School was finished, not all the funds were used. This was last fiscal year. And so what was remaining on that project, the money that was remaining, the board approved for us to move forward on the roofing project at Ann Richards Middle School. So it was approved, but the project never got initiated or encumbered. Therefore, at the end of the fiscal year, those monies went back into our fund balance. Okay, so on the fund balance, on an unassigned fund balance, it went up, right? Because we didn't use that money. So what we're trying to do this year is the staff is ready to move forward on that project, and we want to get that money back out of fund balance and put it into our budget so they can move forward on that project.
So our end of the year fund balance was what it was, but we knew that some of that fund balance was going to be expended. For the purpose of the audit, it was there.
Yes, sir.
Once the audit got done, now
Yes.
we can go in and get it.
Yes, it was unused.
I
at the
hear
end of
that,
this.
but that still makes, I still want to make that point, that initially it was not in the budget. And so now we're having to pay for projects. And my question then is, and we'll know more next week, just how much more
To clarify,
is
Dr.
it that we're
Zamora?
going to have to amend?
Yes, to clarify, it's because the monies did not get rolled over, because it was already going to be in the process of starting a PO. However, those monies did not roll over to the account. So when we initiated to commence and begin the PO process, obviously the account didn't have any monies because it went back to the fund balance. So all we're doing is requesting to move those monies back. They should have been rolled over but weren't because they weren't requested. So that's why we're bringing it to you as an amendment.
Okay.
So did I understand correctly that this project we approved it?
I brought it to you all before because we had money left over from the La Jolla High School.
So it was going to get started in, well, summer or whenever? Okay.
But because the monies did not roll over since we start our fiscal year in July, then they went back to fund balance. So now that we're ready to begin, we're like, where's the money? So it just never got rolled over. But the monies are there.
Any other questions?
Yes, on page 45, sir.
On
Page 45, if you have it. That has to do with the fund 192 in special ed.
But not on this one, Dr. Zamora. This one just has the Ann
I'm
Richards.
sorry.
We need to take care of this one.
Well, I thought we were into the budget amendment already.
Yes.
And this is for item number, we're on item number 1 under business and finance.
It just includes the Ann Richards project.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to wait for the next one. But
Yes,
I
let's-
want to know
let's-
where you're going to do it.
We can vote on this one and then we can move to
Yeah.
the next one, okay? So we have a motion by Ms. Solis and a second by Dr. Zamora. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Now we go to item number 2, approval of budget amendment 2024-0-02. I need a motion to approve.
I so move.
I have a motion by Dr. Zamora, second by Ms. Solis. I'll open it up for questions.
Okay, now I'm in the right eye. All right, on page 45, sir,
Yes, sir.
just if you can let us know where the other resources of $14 million to add to special education is coming from.
Dr. Zamora, where are you getting page 45 from? Because we're on page 53.
No, I'm in the budget amendment.
The budget amendment.
The budget book that you all had sent us that we didn't,
Oh, okay.
you all didn't act
We got
on
it
at the
like
last
2
meeting.
weeks back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's reference what the budget.
It's not in the
Okay.
budget. And not in the budget, not in the
Not in the agenda.
board agenda. It was the one that we got about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay, so I think he's referring to this book.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so,
Do you have other resources, 14 million
yes,
being
sir.
added?
So if you turn to page 67, Dr. Zamora and board members.
67?
Yes, sir. The last time last year you had the same question as well, and you had asked us to add this on the bottom of this page, so you can see a little bit, so you can understand where the money's coming from. And on the bottom of this page, this is Fund 199, the general fund. We have other uses right here coming from the general fund in the amount of $23 million. And so those other uses, we have an asterisk that points down here to the bottom of the page, and it reflects where that money is going to. And so that money is going to those appropriate funds that are listed there.
So it is not from the fund balance?
No, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions? With that being said, I had a motion by Dr. Zamora, second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, approval of change order number 3 for La Jolla ISD for Inclusive Playground Equipment Phase 2, Izaguirre Engineering Group.
No action.
Oh, there's no action on this item.
So the administration is recommending no action.
On this item, okay.
Correct.
So then we move on to item number 4, approval of change order number 2 for La Jolla ISD Baseball and Softball Bleacher Complex, Izaguirre Engineering Group LLC. I need a motion to approve. This is for the bleachers at the baseball and softball complex.
31 days, well, I'll do a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Benavides. I need a second.
I'll second.
A second by Ms. Solis, and we open it up for questions.
The 31 days is from when? 31 days from today, 31 days from,
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, and I have a question also on the AIA change order actual form, because it has the substantial completion date for December 31st. So if we do those 30 days, I mean, we're not going to make that completion
Yeah, and
date. So
that's why they're requesting the additional days.
okay.
so are
Are we
the,
changing that?
are the additional days from December 31st? Because that was the, right,
That's a question, because
that was the original timeline.
we're still 3 weeks away from December 31st.
So 31 days from December 31st?
No, it's from when the project started, because we had those days, no.
No.
So our completion date would be when then?
Well, I don't know, that's what I'm asking. If the 31 days and the completion date was December 31st, so I would think 31 days from December 31st, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it should read like that on our change order form. I think our change order should read, correct me if I'm wrong, but on the substantial completion, that should already have a date completing the days that we're going to approve, right?
Yeah, let me say with Mr.,
Yeah.
they didn't make it today, the engineer couldn't make it.
Well, I can understand them not changing the dates because if it's not been approved yet.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
So they're asking, help me understand, they're asking for the 30 days, then it would go to December 31st. But then you see, there's another change order coming up,
There's going to be an additional
an
one.
additional 31, now moves it down to January 31st.
Do we know the start of baseball season?
The what?
Softball, the start date?
I think we're
March?
still, yeah.
Okay, so we're still within time.
We're pushing for that. Again, there's some other items that I explained to you last time that you asked on the concrete slabs that we're working on, because they're not included.
So I guess our one question is, I know we're going to be, the next line item will be change order number 3, and that's going to be for an additional 31 days. Change order number 2 that we're doing right now has 30 days, so that would be a total of 61 days. So our question, all we want to know is if we approve these 2 change orders, when will be our substantial completion date?
I will get you an answer for that. I don't have it with me right now,
Okay.
but again, if you go on the next item, we're doing also our first payment because they already started to deliver some of the material that is going to be needed for the building of the bleachers.
Generally speaking, can we assume it's 31st or 30th? Can we, because we're at December 31st, so are the 60 days maybe, are we adding because if it's 2 months, I'm just saying that we're to the end of February, then we're pushing right up
Pushing, and
against baseball season beginning. Just so that we're aware of
We're working
that.
as fast as we can, working with the
Got it.
engineer and the contractor to make sure that they get it done. So process is, if you've seen
Okay.
some of the pictures that we submitted, they're bringing the materials already to start working on.
So from the worst case scenario that we're assuming, we're still right before baseball season begins.
Fingers
right?
crossed, yes.
Okay, yes, so we just want to be cognizant of that and
Yeah.
administratively
And again,
push for
weather
that.
permit, we've been getting, and one of the reasons why they're asking for these extended days is because of the change orders and the number
Yes.
of mud days and
I'm
rain days.
I'm hearing from our board that they want us to be, that we want our kids to be,
Yes.
enjoying the
And
facilities.
I completely understand.
Got it.
Our
Okay.
kids come first,
All
so we
right.
got to make sure that, but we're trying our best to work with
Understood.
these entities.
Okay, I know I just heard from some coaches, it starts mid-January, so if we need to, on our behalf, call a meeting to approve anything so that we cannot delay this project any longer, we'll schedule a special meeting just for this, so let's just make sure that we move forward as quickly as possible. Any other questions?
No, I don't.
With that being said, I had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 5, approval of change order number 3 for La Jolla ISD Baseball Softball Bleacher Complex, Izaguirre Engineering Group. I need a motion to approve.
So move. It's the same one.
I have a motion.
Additional.
I need a second.
Second.
A second by Dr. Benavides. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries. And I guess next week, with all the projects, we'll know exactly where we're at and what we need to do to make sure that we complete this on time.
Okay.
Item number 6, approval of application and certificates for payment of contractors' fees, number 1 for La Jolla ISD High School Softball and Baseball Field Bleachers Projects, Izaguirre Engineering Group. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by
Second.
Dr. Zamora and a second by Dr. Benavides. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, approval of application and certificates for payment contractors fee, number 3 for La Jolla ISD ESSER Funds Project, inclusive playset projects, Phase 3, Hinojosa Engineering. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
I'll second.
I have a second by Dr. Zamora. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, approval of application and certificate for payment of contractors' fees, number 2 for La Jolla High School Softball and Baseball Field Bleacher Projects, Izaguirre Engineering Group. I need a motion to approve.
So move.
I have a motion by Dr. Benavides. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, approval of application and certificate for payment of contractors' fee, number 1 for La Jolla Juarez Lincoln Softball and Baseball Field Bleacher Project, Amtech Solutions, Inc. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Zamora, second by Dr. Benavides. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, approval application and certificate for payment of contractors' fees, number 2 for La Jolla Juarez Lincoln Softball and Baseball Field Bleachers Projects, Amtech Solutions. Need a motion to approve.
So move.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I'll take Dr. Benavides second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, approval of application and certificate for payment of contractors' fees, number 4 for La Jolla ISD ESSER Funds Project, inclusive playsets projects, Phase 2, Izaguirre Engineering Group, LLC. Need a
So
motion?
move. So move.
I have a motion by Dr. Benavides. I need a second.
I'll second.
Second by, I'll take Ms. Solis second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, discussion and action to adopt resolution on the Board of Trustees designating non-business days during the 2023-2024 calendar year. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
I'll second with the understanding that we need the days, which are going to be the days.
Okay, I have a second by Dr. Benavides, and she has a question. We just want to know the days that are going to be designated as non-business days. You can answer that question.
The days that we're going to go ahead and designate are the days that we're out on holidays. So during the Christmas break. Those are the ones that we're designating.
Any other questions?
Only,
Only. Mhm.
All holidays that we're taking?
Yes, that's what we're doing. Mhm. And then that way we could go ahead and during the break, we don't have to be working on the request. Mhm.
What about weekends?
We're not, as of right now, that's not what we're requesting.
Would people then that would be requesting information that would require a certain number of business days for information to be, for our response to be there, would that suffice just to say the holidays?
I can answer that question just by virtue of my experience and knowledge. That would be that absolutely, because we always reserve the right to ask for an extension for an additional 20 days if we can demonstrate extenuating circumstances under any FOIA request.
To that, Dr. Zamora, for you.
Yeah.
Well, just so that everybody will be on the same page.
Yes, and we can get our counsel and also get our TASB, attorneys to just write us a note.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you are correct, Mr. Gonzalez, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Right. But for now, the request that we're submitting is that when it comes to our holidays, that we're requesting for that to be imposed. Mhm.
Any other questions? With that being said, I had a motion
you.
and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number D, Instruction and Student Services. Item number 1, discussion and approval of 2023-2024 District and Campus Improvement Plan. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Are we going to have a session on this?
Yes,
So
we'll
we
have a
wanna
special session to present.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
So postpone action on this one, no action at this time? Or what?
No, we need action. But
Well, let's vote on it first. It's open,
right,
and then we'll open it
we're
up
going to
for
present the
questioning.
details. But
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
second.
Second by Dr. Benavides. Any questions?
I would
Yes.
like to
Of
have
course.
a discussion then.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Mr. President and board members, Mr. Gonzalez, Superintendent, and administration, and those here in present and attendance, and also watching at home. My name is Gerard Flores. I'm from the Federal and State Programs Program Department, and I'm here to present a presentation on the District Improvement Plan. So our District Improvement Plan has four components. We have our goals, performance objectives, our strategies, and addendums. So in our goals, we have 3 goals, and as you can see here from goal number 1, this is the district will implement a rigorous curriculum and instructional program to close achievement gaps to ensure that all students reach their academic potential. On goal number 2, the district will implement student support services that address the total well-being of each student by providing a safe and secure school environment. And goal number 3, the district will allocate the resources to support instruction. So under performance objectives, we have a total of 38 performance objectives. As you can see from goal 1, on academic performance, we have a total of 26. On goal number 2 for student services, we have performance objectives, a total of 9. And for goal number 3 for finance, we have a total of 3 performance objectives. So under the first one, under performance, we have a total of 26 that encompasses the following there. As you can see from this particular slide, we have data monitoring, elementary, secondary plan, language arts, math, science, social studies, CTE, PE, health and PE, migrant GT, bilingual ESL, special education, UIL, dyslexia program, state and federal programs, curriculum evaluation, grant writing, RTI, library services, academies, technology, college readiness, professional development, OSP, and fine arts. So this is a breakdown for performance objective, goal number 1, performance objective 26, a total of those. For goal number 2, for under student services, as I mentioned, 9 performance objectives, and this encompass the student handbook, guidance and counseling, attendance, graduation dropout prevention, safety, health services, student record, our parental involvement program, and human resources. Lastly, our finance, we have 3 performance objectives, which is budget and finance, superintendent supports, that includes for campuses, and public relations. And lastly, in this plan, we have the addendums. And in addendums, you'll find the comprehensive needs assessments that is basically the source of everything that we do. We survey our stakeholders, including administrators, teachers, parents, and central office. And as you can see, we have 1 and 5-year goals for performance measures. And this includes the federal accountability, domain goals, all students, special education, bilingual, ESL, GT, OSP, the TELPAS, language arts, math, reading renaissance for elementary and middle school, and of course extracurricular activities, which are our UAL, athletics and fine arts, and lastly our HB3 for elementary and high school. So this encompasses our general breakdown of our district improvement plan. And you were given a hard copy and also access to the Google Drive where you have these documents for your review as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we've been more than happy to elaborate on those.
Right. Before we may delve into campus improvement plan or so, our workshop to this board and our school community will specify and emphasize the relation of our district improvement plan so we know it's not just something on a shelf. We're going to show that it's a living document and it's aligned to our new scorecard, which we've been working hand in hand, arm to arm with Mo Casey and Region 1. And we're developing the scorecard that is, again, parallel and aligned to our district improvement plan. It's the same scorecard that Region 1 is developing for the region and that TEA is developing at the state level. I'm proud to present respectfully to this board and to the members of our community that La Jolla ISD is well ahead academically with the preparation and sedimenting and rooting a scorecard and a district improvement plan that is meaningful, substantive, research-based, and ultimately focused on our students. So,
Any questions?
Any questions? If there's no questions, I had a motion by Ms. Solis, a second by Dr. Benavides. All those in
Were
favor?
we going to come back and discuss them later, or is
yes,
this
we're going to come and feature the district improvement plan aligned to our scorecard, so you can see how it's aligned to how we're evaluating the
So
entire
the points,
district.
the questions that I had, or at least the discussions that we were having about the monies and so forth. we can do
Yes,
at that
will be
time.
addressed at our workshop, very specifically. Yes.
What I wanted just to then point out at this time, because I went through the summary of finances, the budget that you have,
Okay.
and I think that it was well organized, and I think you've done a good job of addressing the different areas that need to be addressed. I just wanted to make sure that somebody goes through the numbers.
Yes, sir.
And to ensure that what you have in this campus plan is actually also included in our budget, because I found some areas where I saw that the monies in this budget may have exceeded what was in the other budget.
Right. And
We'll do so. We'll do so.
So that's,
Yeah.
so that I think
Yeah.
I'd like for you to do. And then the other thought that came across was when we got into, I think it was with areas of finance and facilities, that do we still have ESSER 1 monies that we're using?
No,
Or have we gone beyond the deadline?
ESSER 1 is already expired. That one is already in the books, literally. ESSER 2, we're working on those. We did apply for a late liquidation on that, which later we can come back to you guys on that. And of course, ESSER 3 is year 3 of the grant. So this one is up to September 24 of 2024. September 30 of 2024, excuse me.
Okay, you have here in the budget for, well, it's 281. 281 would be ESSER 2, right?
ESSER 2, that's correct.
So, yeah, we have, and we can, besides the academics, this is still dealing with HVACs. Is that right? Because we have over almost $1.9 million in HVAC.
HVAC. The projects are still going on, as I was alluding earlier. The projects still, and of course, everybody around the state, not just us, are having delays because of the pandemic, what caused it, and we're working on it along with the operations. So we're working on that.
If you could, I don't know if you have it where you can project it, but do you have a copy of the plan, sir? The district plan there?
I don't have it.
Yeah, we have, they're here in our board.
If we can get at least 3, just so that we can look at what I'm talking about here, because we do have a lot of things still having to do with radios and other such things in safety, which I am not questioning that they are needed. I'm just wanting to make sure that
What page are you referring to?
we would be, I will have to do it by objective. So it would be goal number 2,
Oh,
starting
just
in goal number 2,
tell me the page number.
and then I don't have, well, let me look at it.
Make it easy.
Right, so Mr. Zamora, if it helps, Dr. Zamora and Mr. J.R. Flores, what Dr. Zamora and I were discussing here momentarily before we began the meeting was we would, in our workshop, what we will do is come back as we present to look at our goals, our objectives, and then our function codes. So we can align how the monies are being spent from which function, right? And to, what goals and what objectives are being addressed with these monies to add clarity. And we need to present that. Not that it's not in the report, it is, it's just not, it's not as conveniently stated. So we're going to do some cut and pasting for our workshop and be able to bring to this board clarity with, each goal, each objective, and the respective corresponding function code. And so we'll work on that for that.
I can tell you what page you can turn to. So it would be goal 2, and we can start with, the big one is on page, let's see, 236. There's a lot more than that before it, but if you turn to page 236, strategy 10.
Strategy,
It's
the campus will consider
fencing, security cameras, security guards, fire academies, gates, radios, all of that. So have we not completed some of this?
So some of those projects have been completed, and I know Mr. Garcia had reported on the play sets and the canopies, and of course the HVAC is still in process.
So just for HVAC there in the budget for the district plan, we have $16 million.
Yeah, that was initially, and this is again, it's a working document that we can address it, go back and make sure that we have our numbers correct. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we have a training with closing out of ESSER 2 and ESSER 3 in Region 1.
And the reason that I'm pointing this out is because at times I hear, well, when you approve the budget, you approve that project. And I don't want to get caught, well, when you approve that plan, you approve that project. Or you approve that, that we do that without us really having an opportunity to look through those items.
And all these HVAC projects were pre-approved by the state and also in the application. So it's just coming back and make sure that the numbers are matching.
Right, I'm going to reiterate what I just said so that everybody's clear here. Okay, so we're going to look at strategy, we're going to look at goals, and we're going to report to the board so that it's clear to you. Because I think one positive thing, Mr. JR, is that at least each item and project is actually named in these areas.
Yes.
And what we want to, that's a positive thing. What we want to report back to the board with clarity is the corresponding fund function code, right? So where are the monies so they can follow the project, because this board has approved these projects and we can share back with clarity where the monies have been spent, those that are complete, those are substantially complete, those are partially complete, and at least the pacing guides. Some of those, I, as the superintendent, will openly and very clearly and sternly recommend that we will not move forward, and it will not have my recommendation because of our budget. And I have promised not only to the state, but to this community, that as a fiscal conservative budgeter, that I inherited a $25 million deficit, and we're going to be very careful how we begin to cut that deficit, which we've already cut $10 million of that deficit to $15 million, and we will continue this next year cutting that deficit. And so we'll report back responsibly, because the number one thing I think that, aside from setting policy and adopting a budget and hiring a superintendent, this board, they know that we know, they're fiduciary responsibilities is on their shoulders. So we'll report back accordingly. So next week, we'll prepare and we'll get our board president to approve a date for this workshop, maybe at the end of this meeting, and we will come back with a very open and clear presentation to this board.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it here quickly.
Another, we're waiting, Mr.
I was looking on the
Garza.
P and health.
Try to find some,
I thought that including there, what we're doing with the facilities with fifth graders and the third graders and the fourth graders, what we're doing with the tennis courts, with the golf course, and with our swimming pool. That those have full usage. And I saw that in here, and I just thought that was appropriate to point out.
I'm glad that you have continued to take the fifth graders to the golf course. Some kids will never hold a golf club in their life, and they have the opportunity to do that. So I'm
The
glad
swimming
that
is very
has
important.
continued, and I'm glad that the children have been exposed to swimming lessons. It's something that we started a while back and had never been able to do. So I do commend the athletic department for continuing those experiences for the kids. I know that in other places, perhaps it doesn't all fall on the school district, but in a community like ours, it does. And we have a responsibility to provide those experiences for them. And so I was glad to see that it has continued.
Thank you.
Right.
We'll let them know.
I agree with Dr. Benavides. I think it's important to denote that our children, growing up in a school community where we're the second lowest social economic status school district in the state of Texas, many of our children, if not most or all, would not have access to a golf course and the privilege to understand the game, the philosophy of the game, the integrity of golf, or even swimming. And so it is wonderful that our district, and to show that our athletic department has actually committed it, and our instructional strategies and pedagogies have focused on our students and our outcomes. I want to remind our school community that our golf teams were district champions, and I think last year we had the second rated most successful and second highest rated golfer in all of Texas. Right here out of La Jolla. And without a golf course to have access to that as children, they wouldn't have the privilege to understand the game. And we have worked arduously since my arrival, this administration, to look at how, going back 10 years or before, how we could have maybe done differently, how this golf course could have been purchased differently so that we didn't have to own the entire responsibility of managing the golf course. So we'll be if we don't get a chance to sell it, because we do have 2 clients now looking to purchase it. Now we have 2 very serious clients on the balance here. But we're going out to our school communities, right? We're going out to Peñitas, Palmview, Sullivan City, and La Jolla, and asking our local communities to help us with that burden, and where we can have a consortium of ownership. I want to reach out to South Texas College and invite them to form part of a community, a true community golf course, where we can all share in the ownership and share in the cost, so that our entire, K through 20 community can benefit from that. And so I wanted to report back to this board that is one of our goals administratively, and where if we don't sell it to alleviate the tremendous cost that it's costing us every year, then we want to share in that cost so that we can remedy the mistakes of the past. So,
Any other questions?
Just to say, and it's not for fun, the swimming is not for fun, but it's really a part of the curriculum. Water safety is a requirement.
My son loves
that's
it.
right.
So just to make sure that we do that.
That's right.
Early with shorts.
Very true.
I had a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Before we move on, Mr. Garza, it's December and we like to take care of our employees, so just food for thought. No, Mr. Ben Garza.
Ben Garza. The honey with the money.
Yes. Keep an eye out there, please.
Well, since you brought that subject up, sir, I know that out there floating is the question. Here comes December. Is there going to be an
I
opportunity?
think our administration is trying to work something out. I know we weren't successful with a TRE, which was very important for our staff and our kids.
Right.
I know the surrounding districts passed it. I know FAR's already given a loyalty stipend and stuff like that. Unfortunately, our community voted it down. But we're still looking for ways to make sure we take care of employees because we do that here at La Jolla ISD.
Amen.
So hopefully by next week, we'll figure it out. If not, pues, ni modo. With that being said, we have nothing under human resources. So I need a motion to move into executive session under Government Code 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.076.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
Second.
I have a second by Dr. Benavides. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? It is 6:49 and we're into executive session. It is 7:08 and we're out of executive session. For looking into item H, personnel, need a motion to approve item 1 under employment and professional personnel.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
So second.
Second by Dr. Mora. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, employment of classified staff for professional auxiliary. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
So second.
I have a second by Dr. Zamora. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, staff resignations. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Solis. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Dr. Benavides. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. We don't have anything for item number 4 and 5. So with that being said, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion by Dr. Benavides. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Solis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. It is 7:09 and meeting is adjourned.